Listen, we have the same. We have the same.
There you go.
Oh, you do that?
No, it's perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like it, you know? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Very, very excited to be here today for an announcement that's been a long time coming and one that will invest dividends for a long time to come in our neighborhoods. I'm joined here by many leaders who have been toiling for this moment over many years and from all different angles. You'll hear later from a number of them. But in addition to our superintendent, Dr. Brenda Cassellius, to our Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion, Segun Idowu, and his team, who I know he will introduce, to, in addition to CEO of City Fresh, Sheldon Lloyd, and his team, Representatives Liz Miranda and John Santiago, CEO of the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts, Nicole Obi, former State Senator Diane Wilkerson, who's been a longtime champion and partner in this work, Jen Fagel from Commonwealth Kitchen. Okay, who else am I missing? Okay, so again, you'll get more details from all these angles, but we're so grateful for your leadership and your partnership over this period of time. Just last week, we announced the Green New Deal for Boston Public Schools. Our students deserve the school facilities that will nurture their education and learning and provide the foundation for them to have all the resources in the world that we know students across Massachusetts have that directly contributes to their academic achievement, their social and emotional well-being, their physical and mental health, and also the stability of their families. Today we're announcing another piece of that. In 2019, as a city councilor, I was proud to work with a wide coalition, including those mentioned, to pass Boston's Good Food Purchasing Ordinance. This was legislation that recognized our contracts can do way more than just decide between options that may save a few dollars here or there. Our students receive about half of their daily calories eating at school, and they deserve fresh, nutritious, locally sourced food. The Good Food Purchasing Program requires that for all purchasing decisions from the City of Boston, we take into account criteria such as environmental sustainability, local food production, health and nutrition, the wages of workers along the food supply chain, racial equity in the vendors and the choices between sub-vendors that are made. And today is really reaping the fruit of that legislative investment and that coalition building from many years ago. And so I'm so excited to announce that starting July 1st, City Fresh Foods will provide food for our nearly 50,000 Boston Public School students. City Fresh will cook delicious, locally sourced, culturally relevant foods from scratch, fresh, here in our city and in Roxbury. These vended foods will supplement our return to scratch cooking and all of the health benefits. And if you talk to any of our young people, I'm in a school a week or more, and someone always pulls me aside to have a conversation about school lunches. And so it is the taste and the delight that they deserve to see our every part of the school day something enjoyable. This vended meals contract is valued at over $17 million. It is the largest non-construction contract the city has awarded to a certified Black-owned business. We're so proud that it is a local, Boston-based business. City Fresh is Roxbury-based, and a majority of their employees are Boston residents, meaning that the people feeding our communities are from our communities. And the dollars we are investing, the hard-earned taxpayer dollars that we are investing in this contract, go right back into our communities. Many employees are also immigrants, people of color, and City Fresh has also pioneered a unique ownership structure where their employees also own stock in the company, meaning that as this local business succeeds, their employees do too. Investing in a local business that invests in their workers means we are helping our residents build wealth, buy homes, support their families, and we can keep building one step closer to closing the racial wealth gap in Boston. I'm so proud to partner with City Fresh to bring young people nutritious food in our Boston Public Schools, and with this investment, we are leading by example, showing that it is possible to invest in local businesses that value workers, that strive and live racial equity, and still receive higher quality food. And finally, I just want to be explicit about this connection because we've gotten a lot of questions about our facilities plan of why are you choosing this over learning? Why are you choosing food over learning? That is a ridiculous, false proposition. It is one and the same. We know what makes for great education and great schools. We see examples all across the state. And you can walk into many of our suburban schools and we celebrate and are grateful for their example and all they're doing to lift up young people across the Commonwealth. Our Boston kids deserve every bit of that here too. The beautiful buildings, the fresh and delicious food, the opportunities that we're creating. And so from the early college and innovation pathways, our investments in Madison Park and vocational education, today's announcement about how we're tying it all together so that our young people are nourished and ready to learn every single day, and that we are investing back in their parents and their families who are producing these foods. We are so, so grateful for this opportunity to partner and extend our impact. Ok, un poco en español. Estoy emocionada de anunciar que a partir del 1 de julio, City Fresh Foods proporcionará alimentos a nuestros casi 50,000 estudiantes de Boston Public Schools, escuelas públicas de Boston. City Fresh cocinará en Roxbury deliciosos alimentos para nuestros estudiantes. Este contrato de venta de comidas es valorado en más de $17 millones. City Fresh es una empresa de servicios alimentarios basada aquí en Boston y en Roxbury. La mayoría de los empleados son residentes de Boston, lo que significa que las personas que alimentan a nuestras comunidades son de nuestras comunidades. Muchos son inmigrantes y personas de color. Algunos empleados también tienen acciones de la empresa, lo que significa que a medida que esta empresa local tiene éxito, los empleados también pueden. Invertir en una empresa local que invierte en los trabajadores significa que podemos ayudar a nuestros residentes a crear riqueza y cerrar la brecha, y que podamos estar un paso más cerca de cerrar la brecha de riqueza racial. Estamos orgullosos de asociarnos con City Fresh para llevar a los jóvenes alimentos nutritivos. Con esa inversión estamos demostrando que es posible invertir en empresas locales que valoran a los trabajadores, que se esfuercen por la equidad racial y aún así recibir alimentos de mayor calidad. We are so grateful for the partnership and the leadership of our Boston Public Schools Department that has gotten us to this point, and so thankful to hand it over to our leader, Superintendent Dr. Brenda Cassellius.
This is another great day for our Boston Public Schools students. I want to thank you, Mayor, for your incredible, bold vision and for all of the wonderful work that you are doing in the city and coordinating with the Boston Public Schools to get our kids what they need, which is what is our mission. I want to thank City Fresh for continuing to work with us on this incredible opportunity right here in Roxbury to deliver fresh food to our students. Over the past several years, we have been working with the Shaw Family Foundation with the My Way Cafes to get our kitchens ready for such an opportunity like this to be able to serve fresh food. If we were fully staffed today, we would be serving fresh food on 80 of our school buildings. And so we'll be working directly hand in hand with Mr. Lloyd and his entire City Fresh team and our incredible partners that we have here in the city of Boston to serve this fresh food to our students. I'm excited about this new partnership with City Fresh Foods to keep our students healthy and well so that they continue to learn throughout their school day. As a child who grew up in the projects, a child on food stamps, I know full well the benefits of having fresh, nutritious food in our tummies. If you have full tummies, you have full minds. And so, we know that children can't learn when they go hungry. And the partnership being announced today is just one more lever in the all hands-on-deck approach that we've been taking with the City of Boston to ensure that every single student has what they need to succeed. It's an added bonus to know that not only will BPS students continue to have nutritious meals for breakfast, lunch, and school during their summer, but that they will also have access to a wide range of culturally relevant foods. As a Roxbury resident myself, I am thrilled to be partnering with a business like City Fresh that represents the heart and soul of Roxbury, and that we're able to support a Black-owned business right here in the neighborhood. Congratulations to City Fresh, Fresh's Sheldon Lloyd, who continues to inspire me, and the entire City Fresh team for this great accomplishment in this historic moment. Boston Public Schools is thrilled to be working with you to further support our students and families and providing them quality meals. Your commitment to reducing the use of processed foods and your dedication to Boston's local neighborhoods is critical in our work towards closing food equity gaps in the city and making sure every student is healthy, well-nourished, and ready to learn. Thank you, and I just can't wait to see what's on the menu this summer.
Next up, our Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion, Segun Idowu.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is a fantastic day, not just because of this announcement, but also because springtime has discovered Boston. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Happy hump day to all. It is a remarkable privilege to be able to be here for this reason. This is a personal announcement to me, but then also on behalf of the city, the importance of this contract being awarded to this particular business. So there are two words that come to mind when I think of today. One is homegrown, and the other is a word that's been used already, investment. When I think of homegrown, the food that is being served to the 50,000 Boston Public School students, homegrown, locally sourced, an important thing for our students. As a Boston Public School graduate, I wish I were still a student in Boston Public Schools because I would be able to eat every day the food produced by City Fresh. Our team, Midori Morikawa, who's our deputy chief, Elijah Miller, and others who weren't able to join us today, had an opportunity to tour their facility, a remarkable operation that they have there, employing so many from our communities to provide this safe and healthy and nutritious food. Homegrown in terms of the business, two twin brothers and others that the other brother who's not here, Glenn Lloyd, but who founded this business and have remained committed to not just serving this nutritious food to students, to educators, to seniors, but to staying in the community that they grew up in, Roxbury, Massachusetts. An important thing here for the city. When I think of investment, I think of this continuation of the city's investment in City Fresh, especially for this mayor. The Boston Local Development Corporation, under the leadership of Bill Nickerson, who couldn't join us today, made one of the first investments to City Fresh Food over 20 years ago under the leadership of Mayor Tom Menino. And what an amazing continuation of that investment under this mayor, Mayor Michelle Wu, to make this particular investment not only the largest non-construction contract awarded to a non-white male firm, but this quadruples the investment that former Mayor Kim Janey made last year in that first contract, the largest non-construction contract to a minority firm, $2.5 million for an all-inclusive campaign for Colette Phillips and her team to showcase to the world how diverse our citizens, our residents are. And so this contract quadruples that in less than a year to ensure that we're making these investments in our black and brown businesses. And one thing I'll say about this proves the argument that many who came before me, we have State Senator Diane Wilkerson here, the founders of the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts, represented by Nicole Obey, serving as their CEO, the important argument that was always made, that our businesses have the capacity, they have the capability, they have the experience, that we're here, that we're large enough, and that we have the desire to do this business. And so the fact that we are proud of the fact that the city, that Boston Public Schools are recognizing this and making this incredible investment in this business. This announcement, though, doesn't matter if we're not continuing to do this beyond today. And so I just want to say that while we're here celebrating this important investment in City Fresh Foods, which is long overdue and well-deserved, we plan on continuing this. This is part of the mayor's plan to put our money where our mouth is, to not just talk about equity, not just talk about diversity and investing in businesses owned by people of color, in small businesses that are founded and based here in Boston, but actually making sure that when we're awarding contracts, it's going to local diverse vendors. So I want to congratulate Sheldon on having the best proposal to feed our kids. I want to thank Michael McKenna Miller, Jen Dufour, Selena Barrios-Milner, who's here, former chief of equity, who laid the foundation to make something like this possible. And I just want to say, you know, in addition to this contract, the city now stands at an average of 6.5% with women and minority-owned businesses in the first 2 quarters of 2022. We plan on making sure that we are increasing this exponentially into double digits. We're happy that we're in whole numbers, but the fact that we're going to get to double digits and beyond, because these investments matter. It's not just about investing in black and brown businesses for the sake of it, but for the future prosperity of this city, to make sure that we're making these investments. So thank all of you very much, and I will hand the microphone. Oh, and now I get to, so first of all, in my previous role at BECMA, one of the folks who called me the most was City Fresh Foods, to support them not just in endeavors like this, but in providing healthy food to our families across the entire Commonwealth. And so I can't even overcome to be able to stand here and say, ladies and gentlemen, Sheldon Lloyd of City Fresh Foods.
You didn't tell me I have to come after Segun. But finally, long time coming. So 28 years ago, City Fresh began around the corner on Dudley Street. 1,200 square foot kitchen with less than 10 employees, delivering a couple hundred meals a day. And look at City Fresh now. We produce and deliver over 10,000 thousands of meals every day to residents of the city of Boston, and we have a team of 160 locals. I want to thank some people. Chief Segun, Idowu, you sure came in with a bang. We could not have done this without you and your team. Your leadership and support is critical to putting MBEs in the procurement process across the city of Boston, particularly to black-owned, employee-owned businesses like City Fresh. Michael McKenna Miller, thank you for bringing transparency and accountability to the city procurement. This will help more small local businesses like ours bid and earn contracts in the city. Superintendent Cassellius, thank you for prioritizing and investing in healthy, nutritious meals so that our students, including my children, are safe and best prepared to learn and thrive. And our mayor, Michelle Wu, a special thank you for your vision and leadership and fresh approach. Your attention to a local and diverse economy will make for a more sustainable and balanced city. It is our honor to stand here with you and your team this morning to announce this exciting historic news. To our colleagues at BPS and FNS, we are looking forward to working with you to improve the product on the plate and to build a world-class food service team for the city of Boston in years to come. And most importantly, to my City Fresh team, you elevate me. Thank you. And a special shout out to Eric Kuntz, City Fresh's COO, your patience and persistence in getting us to the finish line. Thank you. Last but not least, big shout outs to my local food revolutionaries in the House who fight to make a difference every day. It is proud to partner with Commonwealth Kitchen, Greater Boston YMCA, Shaw Foundation, Haley House, and many others. And we're also looking forward to working with our new partners, RTD Transportation, Project Bread, Stockpot. City Fresh's mission for the past decades is to bring food to Boston that is nutritious, delicious, and culturally appropriate, to provide the community with millions of meals to schools, homebound seniors, after-school programs, daycare centers, with great partners like the Greater Boston YMCA, Age Strong Boston, the Boston Consortium of Elder Service Agencies, BPS Food and Nutrition Services. And we call this health. Also, City Fresh provides jobs that start at a living wage. We offer career paths. It's not just kitchen and delivery. There's many directors, officers, etc. And ownership opportunities for urban Bostonians. So together, we call this health and wealth building. Right now, because of all these great partnerships we have in this city and that all we're doing here, and all the support I do get as I look around, and because of these great partnerships, City Fresh is building a state-of-the-art institutional food service production plant in the heart of Roxbury to provide critical nutrition and flavor to even more children and families in Greater Boston community for years to come. We will not be gentrified. And stay tuned for that celebration. In closing, I want to thank our colleagues and partners at the Mayor's Office, BPS, and FNS. We are looking forward to working alongside with you, with our expert culinary and transportation teams, to bring high-quality food options and world-class service to BPS students and staff. This partnership is personal for me and many City Fresh employees because we are BPS families. And nothing is more important to us than taking care of the families in our community. So here to our friends and partners in the city once more for giving us the opportunity to serve great tasting food to the students with the support of the FNS team, at the same time helping to provide growth opportunities for City Fresh Foods, a proud Black and employee-owned company in the heart of Boston. Our dream is to be here for a long time providing food, service, and jobs right here in Boston. The City Fresh team and I stand ready for an awesome challenge and the opportunity to feed Boston Public School community, students, faculty, and staff. Thank you.
We're also so grateful for the partnership from our state legislative delegation, not only in their roles as neighborhood champions, connecting constituents to economic opportunity and fighting for the assets in our communities to remain and to be here and grow, but also in pushing for the same type of momentum at the state level in the power that the state has around procurement and equity as well. So I'll pass it over to State Representative Liz Miranda, who will be followed by State Representative John Santiago.
Good morning, everybody. It's a little too hot for my jacket, so please excuse me. I'm just really proud and happy to be here. Not only am I the state representative of the Newmarket community and City Fresh Foods, but I'm your neighbor and a friend. And then one thing I want to highlight about City Fresh Foods, it's already been shared about the stock ownership in the company that is led by their employees, but they hire almost a majority of people that live not only in a bus ride away, a short bus ride away, but in walking distance. And one of those families that has been long time employed by the Sheldon Lloyd family has been the Correa family. And they lost their daughter 4 years ago, Jassy Correa. And they would not have been able to make it through that horrible experience without the support of their employer. You're more like their family. I just want to say that we need more employers like that. We need more employers that are in our communities, that take care of their families that work for them, pay them a living wage, but also support them on every need that they have, social and emotional and economic. And the last thing I'll say is I was super excited to hear a month ago, Sheldon calls me all the time, even in the middle of the night. So I'm super excited. Maybe those calls will cease, maybe before 5. They'll happen before 5, I mean. But super excited that we were talking about during the COVID pandemic about the high commercial rents. It's not just about the residential rents in our city that are incredibly high, but there's also issues with the commercial rents. And we were afraid that City Fresh Foods, even though they've been in our community for over 20 years, may not be able to remain. And we fought, and so we want to give them a shout out and a round of applause for buying a building in our community across the street, so they're still on Shirley Street, which is super exciting for our community. So thank you. It's a great day, and I'll pass it over to my colleague, John.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. John Santiago, State Rep. I want to echo many of the things that's already been said already here. Thank you, Mayor, Chief, Superintendent, for really leading this equity-based vision for the future of Boston and BPS. I just have two things I want to highlight. I'm here in my capacity as a state representative, but I also work as an ER doctor just down the street. And so much of what I see there is directly related to what's happening in our communities, right? It's not the gunshot wound necessarily. It's not the acute stroke or the heart attack. Those things are related to food insecurity, right? To proper, nutritious food that our adults are getting, but that starts with our children. And to see and hear that this is going to be happening in our schools with our children, and I admit my son will be attending daycare services next month supplied by City Fresh. This warms my heart because this is about equity. And the second thing I want to mention is that an employer who cares about his employees that much, who's committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, who's committed to Newmarket, to Roxbury, I couldn't be more thrilled that when Sheldon called me a couple of days before or after the application was submitted to send a letter of support, to make a phone call, more than happy to support and advocate for the work he's been doing for decades. So thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to participating in City Fresh Foods in the near future. Thank you.
Questions for anyone up here? Let's start with on topic first. Okay, great. We'll do a side huddle on any other questions, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here.